There's been a lot of questions lately in a lot of the interviews that I've been watching about what does Khabib need to do to cement himself as one of the goats. To have his name with the John Jones, to have his names with the GSPs, and UFC 254, October 24th, this Saturday. Beating Justin Gaethje puts him one step closer to that goal that he's trying to achieve.
Right.
We got a great card on our hands, man. I'm really excited to see what's gonna go down. I think this is his toughest competition to date, counting Conor McGregor, counting Dustin Poirier. I think Justin Gaethje is going to be his most important, most difficult fight that he's
The
had.
most violent man in the sport, man.
Fuck, dude. Honestly, man, like it's watching his interviews, the way he talks sometimes. It'll be like when he weighed in with Tony Ferguson, he's like, carnage will ensue. Like he goes in there, he's like, I want everyone to be against me. I want to go and show people that I'm gonna, I want to go into your city and destroy the guy you guys are rooting for. Like Justin Gaethje's mindset is on another level, man. Like some borderline Mike Tyson shit, and I love to see it, man.
Dude, Gaethje's a fucking beast, dude.
Yeah,
he's a guy you love to hate, but you also love to watch him,
Yeah, dude, the human highlight reel is super entertaining, but a lot of good fights to go over. Starting off headlining the card for the fifth time since their first matchup, we got Magomed Ankalaev and Ian Cutelaba. Now, I don't know if I haven't gone back and rewatched our videos. I don't know if I'm switching who I think's going to win each time.
You are.
Probably, man.
Because last time we both agreed that Jan Cutelaba would win.
Mm-hmm.
This time we're split.
You got Ian again?
Yeah, I still got him. Even though he's the underdog right now, he's at plus 235. Where Magomed is the favorite, I believe. The second highest on this main card, right behind Khabib as the favorite at minus 275. It's going to be a great fight.
It's been a long time in the making, man. And Cutelaba, he's really entertaining. He's very, very aggressive, and I think that's a double-edged sword for him. Where some people it becomes too much for. Like his performance with Khalil Roundtree, I thought it was amazing, and I've commented on it before. But you come in like crazy swinging and stuff. That's how you get caught with something that you don't expect.
100%. I mean, Cutelaba, he's 6 out of 10 in his last 10 fights. So
yeah.
And then,
4-4 in the UFC, man. That is not
the best
you want to be coming off on. Where Magomed, on the other hand, 13-1, 4-1 in his last 5.
Yeah, he's 9-10 in the last 10 fights. Cutelaba lost his last fight, or the last fight was against each other. The last time they fought.
Yeah.
So
the last time Magomed's on a 4-fight win streak right now. So his only loss was his 5th fight ago. So he's doing really good. Also, surprisingly, a really, really good striker for someone who, also does a lot of sambo, just like Khabib and them do. Khabib and other guys from Dagestan. Yeah. So, I mean, it's a tough one to call, man.
So I got Jan Cutelaba winning by KO.
Yeah.
If he's gonna win, he's gonna win by KO. His percentage of wins, like 80% of his wins are by KO. So I'm jumping on that boat. KO. Second round.
Yeah, honestly, I think 100% one of them is getting put to sleep. I just think Magomed's going to be the one to knock out Ian. First round, I think they've been anticipating this so much. They're just going to go at each other, in my opinion. And there's going to be fireworks for sure.
Oh, dude,
I'm very excited for that fight.
Great fight, dude. It's gonna be a fucking great
after
fight.
that, we got Lauren Murphy, and then it's been hopping around a little bit. I think she's had some last-minute replacements, but last I saw, it's Liliya Shakirova, I believe.
That's the last one I saw as well.
Yes. Lauren Murphy, she's been around for a little while. Veteran. This is her 10th fight in the UFC. Where Liliya's, this is her debut. What can you even say? Liliya, there's not a whole lot on her. She's fought a lot of local people where she's from. Maybe some cans, maybe not.
Yeah, this is going to be her first UFC fight. I know she's 8 of 9 in her last 9 fights, so she's on a good streak right now. Most of her fights go to decision from what I've seen.
Mm-hmm. The only annoying, or not annoying thing, but one thing to take into consideration, 8-1 sounds really good, but when you look at who she's beaten, it's not as impressive. And then when you look at who her one loss to is also someone who was not impressive. So that's not a good sign that you're beating a lot of names and maybe decent names, and that's great and all. And then you lost to someone who is like a subpar fighter. That just looks like a lot of padding. It looks like a lot of people that
Yeah, I mean it's the women's division though.
So it'll be interesting to see her against Lauren Murphy, who like we said, she's not a top 5 contender, but she's been around for a while.
Yeah,
she's no easy fight for anyone unless you're like the champion in top 5. So
definitely. I mean Murphy, she's 6-10 in her last fights. She's currently on a 3-fight win streak, and her finish rate, like, out of all her fights, has been about 62% knockout rate, where Liliana, or whatever you say her name, 50% decision, 38% knockout rate, 12% submission. Not the greatest.
Yeah, she's a little.
Most of her fights, half her fights go to decision. So I mean, I got Murphy on this one. I believe you had her as well.
I'm gonna go Murphy decision just because of her experience factor, and not only is it Lilia's debut, she's also a very last-minute replacement, so that's not an easy thing to do. So because of that, I'm going to go Murphy on this one, and so do you. So we agree. Yep. Moving up after that one, I believe this got moved up to replace someone else, and I can't remember who. Islam Makhachev. It replaced the Islam Makhachev fight, which sucks because Islam's been out for a really long time. But we got Jacob Malkoun and Phil Hawes or Hawes, however he pronounces buddy's name, Hawes. Yes. This
both these guys, this will be their first UFC fights, both debuts.
So Phil had one Contender Series fight,
but that's Contender Series fights.
I think he had 2. He lost his first one, then a couple fights later came back and had a second one.
Still his UFC debut though. He did fight in Dana White's Contender Series.
Mm-hmm.
He won.
They counted on your record, but it's not. You're not on a fight night card. You're not on a pay-per-view.
I mean, Phil is 8-10 of his last 10 fights. He's currently on a 4-fight win streak, which is pretty impressive. 75% KO rate out of those. And then we have Jacob, who's currently on a 6-fight win streak. He's still perfect. Hasn't lost any. 4-0 as a professional, 2-0 as an amateur.
Also, and I think he's got. This wasn't an easy one to choose. Partially because there's not a whole lot of information on them.
Correct.
There's only so much video you can watch for guys that are fighting in their local circuit. Jacob's 2 knockouts, 2 decisions of his 4 professional wins. Phil has been a little bit more, Phil's got a 100% finish rate, which is always exciting to see. So there's, Justin Gaethje. So that's always fun, guys. He's got 6 knockouts, 2 subs of his 8 wins.
Yep.
He was, and then I saw he was how much does this mean? But he was a junior college national champion. That's always pretty
impressive.
It's not D1, but it's I think Kamaru Usman's D2 as well. So, stars are coming out of that as well. I got Phil by TKO in this one. I just from the video of Jacob, I've watched some of his fights. He reminds me of there was a fighter, something Hernandez, who was a little bit softer. And it looked like he couldn't take body shots, and I think that's what's going to happen with Jacob because Phil's got some good body kicks.
Yeah, I got Jacob winning this one. So,
decision. Split down the middle on that. You think he's going to get a decision?
I think so.
Yeah, 3 rounds. Both of their debuts. Yeah, it'll be an exciting fight to see, so I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah, the card. Vegas has it Phil as the favorite at -265, where Jacob is the underdog at +225. So it is on the books. It is a big split, but I still feel like Jacob's going to win this one.
Yeah, anything's possible, especially with guys that, like I said, there's only so much research you can do on those guys. Yeah,
definitely makes sense.
But then we switching over to some veterans.
Heavyweights, baby.
Yeah, we got Volkov and Harris. Alexander Volkov versus Walt Harris, dude. This is good for both of them.
Well, yep.
I believe was Volkov's last fight was to Curtis Blades.
It was. Yeah,
Lost pretty significantly. Performed well, but lost significantly. I thought he had good striking, but he had some good takedown defense, but still got control over the course of the entire fight.
Yeah, I mean, Blades controlled that fight the whole time, though.
Yeah, for sure.
Volkov did a good job defending it, but not being able to do much with what he was offered.
Exactly.
But I mean, Volkov, he's won 7 of his last 10 fights, which is a lot, to say something. He is, like, his performance throughout his career, his 30-plus fights, 65% of those fights, he does end with a KO. So that's really impressive. But then we jump up to Walt Harris. All his fights that he ends is by KO.
Yeah, but the amount of fights he wins is, almost a third. Yeah. Walt Harris is 13. Flip those. Alexander Volkov has 31 wins, 8 losses. Not that bad. Walt Harris has 8 losses as well.
Yeah,
like he's been having a troubling where Volkov's 5-2 in the UFC. Harris is 6-7. Like that's you're getting towards where it's starting to get tough. Harris had a really difficult last fight. Overeem beat the dog shit out of him in that fight.
I wouldn't say he beat the shit out of him because he got him in the first round.
Yeah, and then he got the shit TKO'd out of him.
then he got his shit beat up next round after he got
next
tanked.
round. Yeah,
but
pretty bad too, where he was just more exhausted than anything. And that's the big thing about Walt Harris. His first round, he's going to come at you hard, and if you can survive that first round, you've got that W in the bag. And I think Volkov's going to be able to survive that first round. He's a great, excellent kickboxer, and I think he's a lot taller. I don't know about a lot, but I know he's taller. I think he's going to play his distance. He's going to not coast that first round, but play defensively. And I think second and third, he's going to be able to pull away and either get that W in the decision or finish him later on in the fight.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, I believe you picked Volkov in this fight, correct?
Yeah.
I got Walt Harris. We're split again. The books have Volkov as the favorite at minus 155, where Harris is just underdog by a slight margin at plus 135. I got Walt Harris winning this one by KO first round.
Okay, so, possible, very possible. But yeah, looking forward to that one as well. Just to see, I mean, these are guys that are just one win, maybe 2 wins away from a title shot, so they're always entertaining to watch. Following that one, we got the co-main event, right? I lost my second page of notes, but I'm going to try to see what I got. We got the co-main after that one, right?
Yep.
Yeah, okay, so we got Robert Whittaker, Bobby Knuckles versus Jared Cannonier.
The Reaper.
What a fight to make, brother. What a fight to make. This is, I like Jared Cannonier, man. He impresses me. The fact that he had, he wasn't necessarily dominant at heavyweight, but he has wins at heavyweight. And then he has wins at light heavyweight, and then now he's a middleweight. The questionable thing is, besides Jack Hermanson, he hasn't beaten many established people, and that win, if I'm remembering correctly, was a little bit ago. It was like probably over a year ago.
It was. I mean, Jared right now, he's on a 3-fight win streak. His last fights that he lost was to Reyes, and then before that was Jan.
Yeah, which those are completely understandable losses.
Great.
Both of those guys fought for the light heavyweight title just recently. So
yeah, he lost to 2 badass motherfuckers. Jared's KO rate out of all his fights has been like a 69% KO, compared to Whittaker's, which was like 43%, give or take. Whittaker, this one I was fucking hard. For me, it was
hard. I'm still back and forth on, even though I texted you that I think Jared's going to win. I'm still, even right now, I'm like, I don't know.
Dude, it's so hard to count out Whittaker, dude.
Yeah.
It's so
hard.
I
did against Darren Till, and he schooled him for 5 rounds for the most part.
And Darren Till,
he fucked up his knee pretty bad, but...
Yeah, I mean, before Whittaker lost to Izzy, Whittaker was on a 10-fight win streak.
Yeah, he had some troubling fights with the OL, but aside from that, he was an assassin back in the day. And then now it's, he needed a little refreshing, but after that, it's, Izzy obviously knocked him out pretty bad.
Yeah.
But then, is he beat Darren Till, but how much better can he get from there? Jared Cannonier, he could be the same as Darren Till. He could just be one knockout power guy. But I think his striking is pretty good. I think what's crazy is on the embedded series, Jared Cannonier said he's like, I'm almost have a non-existent weight cut. So if he has trouble here, is he going to go down to welterweight? That'd be pretty impressive. 4 different weight divisions, but I like him at middleweight. I think he needs to beat a big name because he beat Anderson by kicking him in the knee, and that hurt him. He beat Jack Hermanson a little while back, beat Whittaker, and then like Izzy said, that's a title shot for you. I counted Whittaker out last time, and I think I'm gonna count him out this time too. I think he's the better striker, but I think Jared's gonna catch him.
Fair enough. I got Whittaker. I got Bobby Knuckles. I believe we both counted him out last time, and I don't want to count him out again. He proved me wrong, a big wrong.
Right, yeah, we beat Till.
Yeah, books have Jared as the favorite at -120, where Whittaker is the underdog at +100. Not a big difference. Mm-hmm. I'm going underdog. I'm going Bobby Knuckles, decision win.
Okay. Good fight, man. That's a good co-main event. And then obviously going into the main event, Khabib Nurmagomedov and Justin Gaethje. Tell me your thoughts.
So I picked Khabib winning this fight, right?
Mm-hmm. Safe bet to play.
But I don't want him to win.
I know what you mean. Justin's very entertaining, and it's not that there's any issue with Khabib. It's just when someone's been champ for so, it gets to the point where as much as you like John Jones, you want to see somebody beat him.
See, like when you say Khabib's been champ for so long, he hasn't. He defended his title twice, right?
Right.
So
but he's undefeated for so long.
He's been undefeated for so long, but I find Khabib as a boring champion, dude. Just like Kamaru Usman. Like I find him as a boring champion.
I know what you mean.
He fights once a year.
Yeah, and that's really bad in my opinion. I think partially he doesn't look forward to anything anymore. People have been asking him, "Do you want to after you beat Gaethje? If you do,
are you looking towards the winner?" I don't like the word if. I don't like the word if.
Yeah. Are you looking towards the winner of McGregor and Poirier? He's like, neither of those fights excite me. I've already beaten those guys. So, I mean, he hasn't beaten Ferguson and he hasn't beaten Justin. But, and then there's the GSP talks, but who knows if that'll actually ever happen.
Right. I mean, I know Khabib is the favorite in this -330 compared to Justin being the underdog at +270. That's the biggest one on the card.
I don't think, I also have Khabib winning, and it comes down to, Justin's been wrestling since 4 or 5 years old. He was a collegiate national champion, but that's still not the same level as a sambo, like a world champion sambo wrestler.
Justin doesn't use his wrestling ever. We never seen it. So it's so difficult to pick, and I know what I want to happen, and I know what the smart choice is. I want Justin to knock him out. I want Justin to knock him out. I know Khabib has been talking about this and one more fight, and he's done. And he wants to be considered
finish on 30-0. Yeah.
Yeah. He wants to be considered the greatest ever. But can you really consider him the greatest ever if he only defended a title 4 times? If he does go wins the next 2
I understand
fights.
what you're saying. It's hard to consider, with 4 defenses compared to Mighty Mouse, Anderson, John Jones, GSP that defended a lot more than that, who are probably the Mount Rushmore of, the UFC. But it gets to the point where it's should he defend just to defend? What's he going to skip past numbers 1 through 5 and go, defend against Kevin Lee or defend a second time against Poirier, defend a second time against McGregor? The only other person after Gaethje is Ferguson. After he beats him, he's beaten everybody in the division, essentially.
Yeah.
So
he has. I personally want to see the Conor Khabib rematch.
Mm-hmm.
Would the same thing happen again? Probably. Yeah. But you can never count out Conor's left hand,
Right. I just think, for Saturday night, I think obviously Justin's striking is much, much better. Mm-hmm. But Khabib's grappling is going to be better than Justin's, and that's what's going to be the main focus of the fight. Is that if he can't out-grapple him, it doesn't matter how good your striking is, he's going to lose that fight.
Okay.
So that's why, submission, second-round submission by Khabib. That's how I predict the fight going.
Second-round submission?
He's got submissions his last 2 fights. He might as well.
Yeah, I mean, I can see this going down to the 5th with a submission for Khabib.
Possibly. But the problem is the longer it goes, the more Khabib gets tired. And even though he's ready for 25, in the past he's shown that in 4 and 5 he gets a little winded.
Yep. I mean, I want Justin to win.
Understand.
I just want Justin to win. On the bets, I do have Khabib winning. But I want Justin to win, dude. I just want him to win.
Yeah, man. Either way, it'll be an enjoyable fight card to watch. Saturday at 1 p.m. the fight card's going to start. So, for those people that can catch it, enjoy. I'm going to do my best to at least rewatch the entire card, whenever I have time. And then, we'll see how the results go. I'll just have to stay off my phone and hope nobody texts me decisions.
I won't text you nothing. Just keep
I
off the
appreciate
Twitter
it.
page.
Sounds good, brother. But yeah, let us know who you guys think is going to win. Is Justin going to get the upset, or is Khabib going to stay undefeated, undisputed? Go ahead, like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you guys after Saturday.